I always tell my students, my MBA students, that they are here because they're managers or want to become managers. And what do managers do every single day in a business? They make decisions. And whatever decision is made by a manager, be it a marketing decision, a sales decision, a production decision, that decision will have an impact on the balance sheet, on the income statement, and the cash flow of the company. And if my students are not able to read and to analyze and interpret a set of financial statements, they will have to rely on other people. And so I asked them, can you always rely on other people? And their answer is no. So I said, well, you've given me the answer. This is exactly why you must know financial accounting, budgeting, cost accounting, managerial accounting. And I think that that is the main reason why I'm trying to transform or to transfer the theoretical knowledge into practical knowledge. Basically, the business environment is always the same. I mean, even if it's fast growing because you have different types, new types of businesses, the basics are always the same. What is the basic aim of a company is to make profits. And this is what I think managers should try to do most of the time, if not all the time, is to make profit. And the best way to make profit, of course, is sales, but you cannot be responsible always for sales. If your customers don't want to buy from you, it's very difficult. You can't go and strangle them to buy your products. But what you can do is control your costs. And I think managers should, as much as possible, control their costs. And of course, hopefully try to sell more, but at the same time control their costs. I graduated from a university in Belgium, in Brussels, HEC, Hautes Études Commerciales, which is the best business school in Belgium. And one of our professors was the Minister of Defense. And he had just come up with a new law. If a university graduate would go to an underdeveloped country, this is how they called them in those days, as a teacher, professor, engineer, whatever, he was exempted from military service. I'm British and I was living in Belgium, so I had no military service to do. So I went with a friend to Tunisia for a couple of years and I started teaching there. And I discovered that it was really very interesting to teach. But then it was not paying very much, and so I decided to get out of teaching and enter the business world, the real business world. And this is when I started with American Standard as an internal auditor. And then that was a fantastic schooling experience, internal audits, that also allowed me to go and live for periods of 6 months to 12 months in several different countries. And then to make a long story short, I was then the assistant to the Vice President, Control and Finance, and then I was headhunted by American Hospital Supply. And I was named or appointed Managing Director of the subsidiaries in Belgium and Holland. And then I was transferred to Paris as the VP Control and Finance for Europe. And then I was headhunted by a company and I was eventually transferred to Monaco, to the Principality of Monaco, where I became a headhunter myself. And I did headhunting all over Europe for about 4 years. And then I was headhunted by one of my clients, and that was Coca-Cola. And then at the same time, I was a professor at the university in Monaco, and I was applying into my business what I was teaching my students. And I think that's the best schooling, because I believe that once you have succeeded in business, and whatever success means, okay? But once you have acquired knowledge and experience, you should share it with other people. What my students like very much with my courses is that I give them plenty of examples of what we were doing in our companies, in American Standard, American Hospital Supply, and Coca-Cola. And many, many times, once I finish my course, some students tell me, damn it, they show us that every month, every week. I've never understood anything. Now I'm going to start asking questions. First of all, an understanding of the financial statements and of the necessity to understand financial accounting and managerial accounting. Because, as I said, it is so important to be able to control your business, control your costs, do budgeting, do flexible budgets, do standard costing, and so on and so on. I mean, I think it is very, very important for MBA students to learn that. Companies are trying to hire MBA students because they know that an MBA student has a global perspective of business. An MBA is not going to make, an MBA study or course is not going to make a student an expert in anything, but the MBA course is going to make them a fantastic generalist, because in the MBA program they're going to touch financial accounting, managerial accounting, financial management, organization behavior, marketing, IT, and so on and so on. So the MBA student will have a total global vision of business. I think that the major benefit for an MBA student is that they will really learn to understand the real things that are happening in business. I think that's the most important thing. If you are a manager or want to become a manager, you must be able to be confronted with many, many things in your business. And I think an MBA program helps them to become not experts in anything, but fantastic generalists, as I said. They will understand everything. If they don't have the answer, they know where to go and get the answer.